There was an unbelievable judicial nominee that this president sent to the United States Senate. A judicial nominee who believes that the judge can, if he wishes, use his or her position to transform our society. That the actual words in the Constitution aren't binding. He's been outspoken about this. He's a law professor, and he hasn't done anything much else. Now, why would Obama send a nominee like that to the U.S. Senate? Does he not believe in the Constitution? Oh, my. Here's the Washington Examiner. The Senate scheduled a vote Thursday to end debate on Goodwin Liu's nomination for the California-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Well, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that it was a procedural vote to see if the Republicans, should they wage a filibuster, could stop him. And since Mr. Liu only got 52 votes, all Democrats but one, they're not going to be able to proceed. Now, I want you to think about that. I am told every Democrat but one voted to bring up Mr. Liu's nomination so he could be confirmed to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals, where he would be sitting on cases involving all you folks in that circuit, which includes California, of course, with this radical ideology that comes right out of the law schools. It's called legal positivism. Now, what legal positivism means, broadly, is that rather than the Constitution saying that the government cannot do these certain things, we're going to turn it around and say the government must do these certain things. And what must the government do? The government must institute the socialist left-wing agenda and constitutionalize it. That is, make the case, if you have the votes on the court, that's all you need, make the case that the Constitution compels Obamacare. It compels tax hikes. It compels environmental justice and cap and trade. There are no limits to what the central government can do, no limits to intervention and so forth, that the courts can be involved in. Absolutely radical, crazy, and yet this is the so-called cutting-edge legal philosophy, constitutional philosophy, on the left in our law schools, which they now want to put on the courts. Obama nominated this man to the 9th Circuit. So Obama clearly shares his philosophy, right? This is why I think all these things are linked. Your attitude about our society, your attitude about our Constitution, the rule of law, these really are ends justifies the means kind of people, aren't they? Answer yes. But the Republicans mustered enough votes, and Nelson of Nebraska as well, to make it clear that they were prepared to filibuster this nominee, Goodwin Liu. Even McCain and Lindsey Graham said this is enough. We got to draw the line here. But if you have a Democrat senator in your state, other than the one I mentioned, these so-called moderates from Virginia, like Warner, Landrieu from Louisiana, Pryor from Arkansas, Nelson of Florida, please keep in mind, they don't think you're looking. They don't think you're paying any attention. That they voted to put somebody on the court and would vote to put other people on the court who, rather than being faithful to the original intent of the Constitution, would virtually disregard it. These are radical, radical philosophies of governing and of adjudicating. How can you be a so-called moderate Democrat senator and vote for something like this? How can Nelson of Florida vote for this? Or Landry of Louisiana? Or Warner of Virginia, when they come back home, when it's re-election time and they run all those ads telling you common sense Democrat, centrist Democrat, and the media's there promoting them as their talking points claim, don't ever forget it. They voted for Obamacare. They voted for this radical judge. And they'll keep doing it. We cannot make progress in this country if the voters aren't engaged and make wise decisions. We cannot save this country if we put nut jobs all over the government, including lifetime appointments on the court. Where this man would have sat, he's a young man too, I think he's 40. He would have sat there for 40 years, 45 years, voting to rewrite the Constitution, and there wouldn't be a damn thing you could do about it. Nothing. Nothing. I just thought you needed to know that Obama picked this guy. Because this is how Obama thinks. I love these stories. Obama's left. There is no Obama's left. Obama is the left. He is the radical left.